So, why am I trying to make you remember to smile? Well, for some people, it's gonna be like very basic knowledge, but did you know that actually smiling really helps you to feel happier? Which I know sounds like kind of obvious, but it's actually true. I think most studies have pointed out that smiling really helps you to release those good feeling chemicals in your brains, like endorphins or those kind of serotonins, like chemicals in your brain that's gonna make you feel better. And it's actually not like a lie, it actually works in many ways. Just try to force a smile, even the forced one might actually have those benefits. And science has looked into it and is not like a lie or something you say to make people happier. It's actually something that's important. And to give you my perspective on it, I do believe it's true, and I'll tell you why. It's because from my background, I am someone who's actually doesn't smile that often. I am the kind of person who has a very sad resting face, and so I spend most of my time being in my neutral face, which is this one. And I get a lot of comments on it. Why are you sad? Why are you look so depressed? Is there anything wrong with you? And those questions are kind of frustrating because nothing is wrong with me. It's just me, my normal being of me every day, just having the neutral face I'm having because I don't want to be smiling or anything. I just want to be calm and, peaceful. But people come at me and tell me, why are you sad? And I'm like, I'm not sad. This is my resting face. Can you just maybe not talk about it? So yeah, that's my background. And at first, I didn't give too much thoughts about like maybe I should force myself to smile or like try to give it a shot. I was always like, you know what? I'm just too tired to do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna give it a try. And eventually, after a few months, I had a breakup and I wanted to start on a good basis because I know my relationship took a lot of my mental health and I really wanted to go to a path of self healing. And instead of judging smiling, I gave it a try. And trust me, at first, it was extremely awkward because smiling is not natural to me. It's not something I do. Of course, you do it naturally with your friend when you like laughing or talking about something that makes you laugh. But overall, it's not natural for me to smile when I'm doing nothing or when I'm by myself. I find it very silly. Even when I was riding on my scooter, I was trying to force a smile and I was like, people must be looking at me like in such weird way. Like they must be making fun of me. And yeah, but in all fairness, if you want my honest opinion, it actually does work. I gave it a try. There was days when I was feeling down and I was like, I'm gonna give it a try and actually smile. And I smiled and it made a difference. I wouldn't say it's life changing, but it does make a difference to your mental health and it helps you to feel better. And it's not something magical that's gonna fix all your problems, but it's gonna help you make you feel better, at least a bit better. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna make you feel like a bit brighter. It's not gonna make your day perfect, but at least you can kind of look at the good sides and maybe you can try to think more positively. And I found that adding these to like positive affirmations makes the positive affirmation more believable. So I'm not really gonna talk about positive affirmation in that video, but like positive affirmation kind of work, but it's also a lot of work. I understand that not everyone wants to go into that work, but smiling makes it more believable. So if you want to try positive affirmation and you feel like it hasn't been working for you, I would strongly advise to try to do them while you smile, even if it's a fake smile or like a false smile, because for me, it helped me to make it more believable and it actually helped me to make it more efficient. And I have another example. I actually work in retail and I used to give good customer service, but I was always being a bit more neutral. I was always like trying to be a nice person and deliver good customer service, but I wasn't really smiling like big smile. I was doing small smile, like just kind of neutral expression. And I'm gonna tell you, like smiling makes a lot of difference on how people treat you. They treat you kind of differently. Not like it does make a difference when I started to also force my like smiling at work in my retail job, and I've seen people like mirroring, because what you have to understand is humans mirror a lot of the emotions, and if you give them sad, they're gonna give you sad, and if you give them happy, they're gonna be more likely to be happy. And that's actually how it worked. I started smiling way more to my customers and like being very happy and like joyful, and they were just like giving it back to me. And some people, customers that sometimes I feel they're gonna be rude with me, because you have those type of customers, you can tell they're gonna be rude with you. When you start adding a smile and like really try to make it like as if it's okay, I'm not gonna judge you, I'm just gonna be smiling to you and be trying to be positive. Well, those people, I thought they would give me a hard time. They were actually smiling back, and they were actually being nicer and more patient. So my take is, I would say, give it a try. Try to at least smile once daily and see if it makes a difference. Try to smile in one situation when you feel like you would have never smile, and see if there's any difference how people behave with you and how you behave with yourself. Because smiling is not just gonna make you change your behavior, but it's gonna help you change the behavior of those around you. I'm not saying it's a magical formula that's gonna make your life perfect and everything's gonna be alright, but just give it a try and see if even the slightest difference can sometimes make a big difference. So yeah, try to smile daily. And you know, me, I've been trying to keep that smiling every day, but it's not always easy, and I understand things happen, but do give it a try. And I can guarantee you, you'll see some kind of difference. I know it's not gonna work for everyone, but I just wanted to remind you that smiling is powerful, and we shouldn't forget about it, because it's really easy to forget about it.